Good morning. This morning I am going to be doing this video, the video I want to do while I'm in town. Just dropped Jaimie off at the clinic for her vitamin C IV. I should have gone the other way. I can never get out of this sometimes. Way traffic. Oh, traffic's not that bad. I can pull out. As always, this video will be moved over to patreon.com. So if you missed the video or you can't watch all the video, you can go over to patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead, and then you can view the video. It will not be behind a paywall. You can view it public. I always keep the Jaimie updates public. A lot of people asking, what's the latest? How's Jaimie doing? She's doing good. Just pull into my lane there, buddy. And she's still doing her vitamin C IVs every week, but I think we're going to eventually here, probably in the next week or so, begin to wind that down. And then she's going to get a CAT scan next week. They're going to compare the CAT scan with the CAT scans that they've had before to make sure that everything is okay in there, nothing's growing that shouldn't be. And then at some point we're going to get another PET scan, which, you know, you can't, I mean, they're looking for making sure there's no cancer anywhere else that they haven't looked or whatever. And we're not really excited about PET scans, because basically what they do is they put radiation in your body to find out if there's cancer, which is like putting something that causes cancer in your body to see if you have any cancer. It makes no sense. But so don't get me started on the medical establishment. Anyway, so the deal is right now we're going to wind down, I think, the vitamin C IV treatments. We can't do that forever. We've been doing it for a good amount of time, and we're going to continue the supplements at home, and continuing some of the other treatments that we're doing at home, foot baths, Rife machine, all that stuff. Then also we are going to, once we get past the PET scan and the CAT scan that we have scheduled next week, then we are going to start looking at reconstruction. Okay, and that means she needs a whole new set of teeth on the bottom part of her jaw. All those teeth were removed except for the two back ones during surgery, so she needs to get those replaced. So that's what we're going to be doing. We got to start looking at reconstruction so she can start eating solid foods again. The biggest issue she has right now, for those of you wanting prayer requests, is the one sore that's on her tongue. It's on the side of her tongue. It makes swallowing very, very difficult for her. And so she is having that issue right now, and we're just waiting for my lasers to be delivered from China. China, as Trump calls them, China. There are lasers in China that we can't get here in America. I just don't get it. I did a whole rant on that. I'm not going to get started again, but it's real easy to get started on it because it makes me so angry that I can't get lasers in America. Anyway, so I'm waiting for my lasers to get here. If you want more information on that whole rant, you can go back and look at it. So that's what we're waiting on right now. Right now, her biggest issue is that sore on her tongue, and it's called mucositis. It's a radiation-based sore, and the only thing that fixes it is a laser that you can basically used to, but 10 years ago, you could buy to any mall outlet mall. But the U.S. has since regulated it because you might down an aircraft with it. Anyway, so that's kind of the latest. That's the latest deal on Jaimie. Still has the mouth sore she's trying to recover from. She says she has seen improvement with it, but it still hurts. It's still a big thing for her. That's the latest. So that brings me to my subject for the day. Do I or do I not want to? You see this article that was posted on Drudge? It was on major news outlets that a woman flying on an American Airlines flight brought her emotional support animal that was a horse. It was an emotional support animal that was a miniature horse. And they let her fly. And some passenger in the airplane took a picture of that and then posted it on social media where the news picked up on it. And it was a woman who brought her horse on the flight. just crazy. And it's like the world has just gone nuts. And the more the world goes nuts, the more the world is trying to, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? The more the world is going nuts, the more the world attempts to accommodate for the craziness. Instead of telling someone no, which might offend them, because that's how you get what you want today. You know how you get what you want today? You say, I'm offended. And then whoever's trying to deny you whatever it is you want in this life has to give it to you. Because the worst thing that can happen in this life ever is that you could be offended by something. And so if a woman comes to the American Airlines ticket counter and says, I'm here with my emotional support animal, oh, by the way, it's a horse, you have to smile and nod at the craziness, and give her a ticket to put her emotional support animal that's a horse on the airplane with her. The world has gone nuts, and the world is failing to say, no, I will not accommodate your craziness. And instead they're saying, oh yeah, go ahead. You have crazy, bring all the crazy you want. We need more crazy. Go ahead. Come on over. Bring the crazy. The world has gone crazy. And the world just seems like they can't get enough crazy. I need crazy. So, what I am proposing is this. I am proposing this. I think it would be great, fantastic, phenomenal, if I decided to go ahead and buy those, because you can go on anywhere. You can go on eBay, you can go on Amazon, you can go to anywhere you want to go today on the internet and buy emotional support animal clothing or paraphernalia. Let's just call it paraphernalia. And you can put this emotional support animal paraphernalia on your animal and make it an official emotional support animal. And I'm thinking about doing that with one of my sheep. So I have I have a lot of sheep. A couple of the sheep that I own are really friendly. They'll do whatever. They come up to you. They'll let you scratch them. They love attention. And I'm thinking, you know what? I could buy the vest. I could buy, the paraphernalia, the identification markers, the fluorescent tape and clothing that they put on these emotional support animals, and put it on my sheep. And then I could take my sheep on a flight somewhere. And so maybe we just open it up to the audience and say, you decide where I want to go. I will go. And I will bring my emotional support animal, the sheep. I think we should do that. I think I could do that. And let's just see. If American Airlines will allow a horse on a flight, they should allow a sheep. I guarantee you my sheep poops more than a horse does. I'm just saying. A horse will, but I mean, what do they do about the poop? I mean, at least the sheep are going to leave little round, balls. That's how they poop. They poop little round spheres. They're spheres. They're not flat. They're spheres, right? So, and they're going to leave, little round balls everywhere. I guarantee you. But it's an emotional support animal, so I can't be denied, because I can't get by without my sheep. I have to have my sheep with me all the time. So I'm thinking what needs to be done here is that I'm going to announce me traveling somewhere. I'll pick a spot. Maybe I'll let you help me pick a spot. You can pick a spot, and then we'll vote on it. We'll get tickets. And I'll call the airline and say, I have an emotional support animal. oh, by the way, it's a sheep and it's going to be traveling with me. And let's see if I can get that sheep on the plane. I mean, if a woman can get a horse on a plane, I can get my sheep, right? I should be able to get my sheep. I think we should do that. I think that would be great. Fantastic, even. I have heard loud and clear the internet talk going around about how all of this stuff makes people who really do need support animals angry as all possible. I mean, the people who are actually handicapped, people who are blind, people who are deaf, people who really need support animals for their disabilities are really angry. And I don't blame them. I absolutely feel their need. I feel their pain, because it is a real pain. Because here they are, they have a true need with these animals, and a bunch of wackos, crazies are saying, oh no, anyone should be able to take their animals. They're untrained. They're not trained. They're just an emotional support animal because someone didn't get hugged by mom and dad enough or spanked by mom and dad enough when they were kids, that they need an emotional support animal to travel with them wherever they go. Meanwhile, the people who are handicapped, they're walking around with their animals and they're being looked at like they're idiots because of the crazy coming out from the people who need an emotional support animal. So I totally understand why they're so angry. And it's because they're being made to look like idiots. Oh yeah, snake on a plane. Someone suggested snake on a plane. Let's bring snakes. This is my boa constrictor is an emotional support. Next time I find a copperhead online, I could capture the copperhead and just call it my emotional support animal. That's not going to happen. If I see a copperhead, snake shot. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the world has just gone crazy. And so I thought about that today as I was traveling in. I was listening to the Chad Prather show, which I'm subscribed to on YouTube, and he was talking about it. He was talking about the chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A. I have not had a Popeye's chicken sandwich yet. I do like the spicy deluxe chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, which I don't have very often, but it is good. And but there's this whole war going on between Chick-fil-A and Popeye's. And but people at Chick-fil-A, I mean, they're not dealing with armed vigilantes who are upset because they've run out of chicken sandwiches. The clientele over at Chick-fil-A is just a different clientele. Have you noticed that? I mean, have you ever been to a Chick-fil-A? The Chick-fil-A clientele is a little bit different. They're mostly Bible believers because you almost have to be. If you're a left-wing, nut job, you don't usually go to a restaurant that has Bible verses on the walls. It's just something you don't do because it's a trigger. It'll trigger you, and you'll go nuts if you're a left-wing wacko. Because you don't believe in God. But Jaimie said something the other day. She said, when something like that happened, when something crazy would happen before, like hurricanes or whatever happened, they would basically call it like insurance places. Like if your house flooded, or if your house got swept away by a tornado, usually when you got different insurance on different high dollar items like a home or a vehicle, there was always a thing inside the tiny writing inside those insurance agreements that talked about an act of God. Well, see, we don't have those anymore. There's no act of gods anymore because God doesn't exist. The left has made it to where God doesn't exist. There's no prayer in the schools. There's no God in schools. We don't talk about God because God doesn't exist. And so nowadays, when you have a hurricane that comes through and causes billions of dollars worth of damage, you have to blame it on a right-wing president because there is no God. We've established that there is no God, so you got to blame it on something. You blame it on a right-wing president. You blame it on right-wing policies, global warming. It's all man-made, so we have to blame it on whatever right-wing cause we can figure, because it's all their fault. And we haven't done enough about global warming because of all the Republicans or all the conservatives out there who call it a scam. Because I remember when I was like in junior high, like in the early 90s, they were saying then that global warming and we're all going to die. If we don't do something by the year 2000, we're all going to die. It's going to be too late. And then it said nothing happened by the year 2000. And then by the year 2010, they said, well, if we don't do something by the year 2010, we're all going to die. And 2010 came and went, and we're all still here. And so they've changed it now. If we don't do something by the year 2020, we're all going to die. And 2020 is next year, and we're still here. And so they're continuing to push this mantra over and over and over again. And now they're not calling it global warming, they're calling it climate change, because it's obvious that global warming is a scam. But we still have tornadoes, we still have, these horrific events that have happened all throughout history, earthquakes and hurricanes. And so now we're just going to blame it on coal mines and right-wing policies, right-wing politicians. Because we have to find someone, because there is no more act of God anymore. God doesn't exist, so we've ruled that out. Because God is dead, we can't blame hurricanes and things like that on him anymore. So they've taken that out of all the policies. But that used to be the case, an act of God. If you lost your home to an act of God, the insurance won't cover it. Or maybe it does cover acts of God. It depends, how what your insurance said in the agreement. Well, it doesn't happen anymore because God's dead. God is dead. There's no more acts of God. If your house gets swept away by a hurricane, that's on you, buddy. Anyway, my emotional support animal, the sheep, I'm going to be ordering that vest online, and you guys decide where I should go. Should I take I'm going to use American Airlines, because it's obvious American Airlines will allow horses on their airplanes now. So they'll obviously allow sheep, which my sheep is probably the same size as that miniature horse or smaller. So I don't see an issue with it being on the plane. When it poops all over the place, these little round pellets, I wonder how that's going to work. And if the American Airlines staff will be equipped to handle the cleanup process. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see how that works. But the world's full of crazy today, so I might as well just join in and be crazy with the world. Because we wouldn't dare tell a woman, no, you can't bring your miniature horse on the airplane. They wouldn't dare tell me, no, I'm sorry, Zach, you can't bring the sheep on the airplane. If they do tell me, I'll be offended, and then I'll get my way, and they'll let me on the airplane. See, that's how that works. Can I have a support hippopotamus? Yes, you can bring your hippopotamus on the airplane. Have a rhinoceros? Go ahead. It's an emotional support animal. We may have to arrange the seating a little bit, but you can have your hippopotamus on the plane, or rhinoceros, or whatever. The world has just gone crazy, folks. Absolutely crazy. But I'm serious. I want to do it. I want to bring the sheep on the plane. I just need somewhere to go and a paid-for ticket somewhere. And I will bring my emotional support animal, the sheep, on the plane. Now, the kids have names for all my sheep. I don't know. I don't remember what their names are. But you can check it out. I'll go home. I'll ask my children, what sheep should I bring? And they'll tell me all the sheep are named Miss something. So I think, what are some of the names? Miss. Oh. They know all the names. I can't remember any of them. I can't remember them. I'm gonna have to. Anyway, that'll be a video. That'll be a future video. Joshua and Caleb will decide which animal is the one to bring, and I'll bring the sheep. I mean, I would think the sheep would be more accepted on the airline than a horse, right? Anyway, that's what you do. You go on eBay, you go on Amazon, and you find the emotional support animal clothing that you can dress your emotional support animal in, and you can buy the vest, and you can buy all the stuff you put on the animals to let everyone know in the world that this is an emotional support animal and that I can't survive without it. And then I'm going to start walking around with my sheep. Maybe next time when I bring Jaimie to the clinic and I have to go to Walmart or go to the store, I can just bring my sheep with me, dressed in its emotional support, paraphernalia, and all its regalia, and I'll just walk around the store with my sheep. I mean, the sheep would totally. I mean, I have a couple sheep that would totally just walk with me on a leash because they're just very friendly. I'm gonna do this. I think I'm going to do it. Who's going to stop me? The world's full of crazy. I'll just blend in with the rest of the crazy. That's the way the world is today. You can go out, be completely crazy, and no one will know the difference because you're blending in. It's when you go out and act normal, that's when people look at you and go, that guy is weird. That guy, he's off his rocker. That guy's a lunatic. It's only because he's acting normal. I mean, everyone should have an emotional support animal today, right? Unsubscribe. Lying socks. Unsubscribe. Obviously, Lying Socks has an emotional support animal, and he's offended that I'm making fun of emotional support animals. If you have an emotional support animal, there's something wrong with you. There's something. Mom and dad didn't spank you enough, didn't love you enough. Something in your life was unbalanced, and now you need an animal to go everywhere you go, so that you can be emotionally supported. Something is wrong with you. If you feel like you need to bring a horse on a plane, you have lost it. The cheese has fallen out of your sandwich. You're a few fries short of the Happy Meal. Oh, I just can't get. I just don't get it. Just don't get it. Anyway, that's my rant today. That's my update today, folks. If you missed the poll video, you're tuning in late. Go ahead. Go over to patreon.com/An American Homestead. You can watch this video or the whole video in its entirety over there. I'll leave it over there. Patreon.com/An American Homestead. And that's where the video will be. It won't be behind a paywall. You can watch it. It's open. All my Jaimie updates are open to the public. So I don't put them behind any paywall or sign-in process or anything like that over there. You just got to go to patreon.com/An American Homestead. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can get over there and watch it. And that's where all of our Jaimie update videos are. So, all right. Stay tuned because we're going to see my sheep in an emotional support animal vest. I'm going to get it. In fact, I think I'm going to get off this video, go on Amazon right now, and see where I can get me one of those emotional support animal vests, and then we will travel somewhere, and then we will bring the sheep along with us. I need to blend in with the crazy. I feel left out. All right, see you next time in the homestead. Love you guys. Bye.